What's going on, guys? I'm Jody. This is Inspire Woodcraft. Today we're talking double-side tape. This is something I use in my shop every day, and it's something I've also been asked over and over the years. That didn't make sense. I've been asked a lot of times where I get my paper tape. Now, truth be told, I was buying it from a place I used to work at, and I had a little bit of a supply built up. I ran out. That's a part of what inspired the blue tape video, because I had to get some workarounds until I could find a good supplier for tape. Well, I found it, and this is Intertape or IPG 591. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description like usual. And this stuff works really well. A lot of people use carpet tape or mounting tape, and I always recommend not doing that because it's a little too thick for the things that we do in a wood shop. And a lot of times it can leave a sticky residue and even tear fibers off of boards depending on the species of wood. What you want is a paper tape, and this is double-side paper. So you have the white backing that is on it, and when you peel it back a little bit, you have what almost looks like craft paper. It's very thin. I don't remember exactly how thin it is, but it is very thin and it holds very well. This is 1/2 inch. You can also find it in, I believe, 3/4, 1 inch, probably up to 2 inch and more. You can use this stuff on CNCs. Now, I don't have a CNC, although I'm working on it, but I've worked in shops with CNCs, and we would use this tape to hold our material down on the CNC bed. That being said, today I'm going to show you my favorite ways that I use double-side paper tape in the shop all the time. And since I've been routing these push sticks out a whole bunch, because a lot of people have bought them, thank you, by the way, I figured it would be a good opportunity to show you some of the things I use it for this, and I'll show you a couple other things while I'm at it. Now, just as a reminder, links to some of our other videos and items we used in this video can be found in the description box down below. Here you'll also find links to other stuff like Patreon, where you can help support this channel so we can keep making awesome content, as well as where to find us on social media, our website, and our contact info. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to tell you that 99% of the time that I watch a woodworking related channel or show, they're doing it wrong. And the reason I say that is not because it's inefficient and doesn't work for them, but it could be better. So contrary to popular belief, scissors are not your friend. When we use scissors to cut a piece of tape off, it's a pain in the butt to get that paper back off, and especially if you are using more of a foam type tape with a plastic backing. The better way to do it is to always leave yourself what I call a paper tail. Now you can pull the tape off, stick it down to your piece, and just rip that paper off, leaving yourself more paper tail. You can also leave it strung out behind you if you want to be funny and have something to trip over later. This is absolutely the most efficient way to use double-side tape, especially if you're in a production situation where time is money and you need to get moving. One other thing to note, when you're using double-side tape, if you apply the tape and then just touch the tape, after you apply it, touch the tape before you put your two pieces together, and that will eliminate some of the stick, but it'll still hold it. Now, why would you want to eliminate the stick after you just put the stick on? I said stick a lot. The reason is because maybe you want to be able to separate them a little bit easier. It's harder with wood shops because we deal with a lot of fine sawdust, but a lot of times you can actually still reuse it several times depending on your application. All right, so let's jump into putting some templates together and start going through what I use double-side tape for. All right, now first we're gonna start with the one that we're all most familiar with, which is gonna be a template. Now I want to make this exact thing, and I have a piece that I've already started to cut out on the bandsaw, and I have the rough shape, so I want to put these two things together, and I'm going to use a piloted bit or a pattern bit. I'm actually going to route this off to copy this shape. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this one over, and again, I have that tail left over. I'm just going to pull some tape out. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm just going to press it down on here. Peel this side up and tear, and I'm going to put one more on the other side. This is a little cumbersome because of the holes that are in here, but it works great either way. Now I'm going to take the rough cut piece, and I'm just going to set this on here, making sure that I have clearance all the way around. I'm going to push down. That's literally it. It's not going to come apart. For a little added security, we can just give it a good press. Now I'm actually going to take this to the bandsaw, and I'm going to trim some of this up because I don't want this around here. So now that I'm at the bandsaw, I actually would like to put a zero clearance table on here because this insert, the factory insert that comes with the saw, allows for thin stock to end up sliding down in here. And I'm just going to be taking a little sliver off of the edge of this thing before I put it on the router table. I actually have, conveniently, a piece of plywood that happens to pretty much fit this table. So what we're going to do is we're going to use double-sided tape to actually make a false table for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple strips of double-sided tape on both sides of the blade. And some out towards the edges. And now when I put this back, I can slide this in here, put it back down. Sort of smooth out any bows that might be in this 1/4 inch plywood. And we're back in business. And that keeps these thin slivers from falling down in that insert and either binding up on the blade down below, which can cause all kinds of problems, or getting trapped in there so that I have to turn the machine off, dig it out, and just slowing down my production. Now ironically, I have a piece cut out for the table of the router too, and the reason is because I have a router table that has all these little divots and stuff in it, and what happens is sometimes as I'm routering, it gets kind of hung up on little edges and whatnot, and I don't want that. On a big piece like a cutting board, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because it has a large surface area to cover. But a piece like this, where it can get hung up on some of these little dips and grooves in here, a router table, false table, is maybe a little bit better idea. So once again, I'm going to use double-sided tape to stick this down. And you don't really need a lot. I mean, they don't just give this stuff away, so it's probably not a good idea to use a ton of it. I'll leave a link for where you can all leave donations to replace this supply. Obviously, I'm joking. Alright, so now that I have my tape on there, we're basically just going to flip this back over and press it flat like we did back at the bandsaw. Now, it helps if you have a little flatter piece of plywood, or I could use a little bit more tape. But for all intents and purposes, for what we're using this for, this is perfectly flat enough. And now, I can go anywhere I need to and I'm not falling down into any little divots. Now one thing I almost forgot to show you guys is I actually have this template that I made up that has a radius on it, and I want to be able to repeat this radius over and over again. Again, if you're cutting out signs or cutting boards or the like where you want a radius corner on there and you want to mass produce them, it's nice to be able to have the exact same shape every single time. So this is designed with these 2 feet on here to just slide over this and hook onto here. And if you're not comfortable holding it by hand and routing this pattern, you can put double-sided tape on there, hook it back over again, and press it down, and now your template's not going anywhere, and you can very easily make that same pattern just like we did on the push sticks. Now another place I like to use double-sided tape, because I haven't made a decent zero clearance either insert or complete top for the fence and table of my miter saw, is I just take a couple pieces of scrap, 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. I like to use 1/4 inch to keep the max capacity of my cuts. And I like to just lay them down on the bed and lay it down on the fence And now when I slice through this, I'm going to have a zero clearance insert. And now, to try and eliminate tear out and all that on this type of stuff, perfectly clean cut, no tear out, no tape needed, and I have a good cut, I can get back to work. So of course I'm not going to leave the table saw out of all this. One thing before I forget, if you have a table that has a really wavy top and you're going to run really thin material underneath it, a lot of times it can create a gap here and you can get that material wedged in underneath. A couple strips of double-sided tape attached to a false face on your fence. Strap that down, and now you eliminate that gap almost completely, but probably enough. Another time you could use that is, say, a false fence for running a dado stack or something like that. Now another trick that I use double-sided tape for all the time, and I rarely see people doing this, at least in video, is to actually put a stop block on the table for running multiple, preferably short, cuts. It's going to involve two blocks, essentially. One is going to be used to reference the fence, the other one is actually going to be our stop block. You're going to need a miter gauge, and that's it. So I'll show you how that works. Alright, we're going to start with our small block. We're going to put a piece of double-sided tape on this. We're going to set that aside. We're going to set our fence to what we want. Let's say we want it at 2 inches. I'm going to use the one square piece. I'm going to just put it up against the fence and hold it. I'm going to push my fence out of the way, make sure I clear the dust off of here. Then I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to put it right down onto the table behind my blade, and now it doesn't go anywhere. We can set that to the side. While I'm here, I can show you my idea for pushing these pieces through. You can see what I mean by the extra tape here. We're just going to put a couple strips of tape here. We're just going to keep it just a hair off of our stop block here, and we're going to put it right on our miter gauge. And now this thing's not going anywhere. Of course, this stupid thing doesn't work for me half the time, which is why you never see me use it. And now this is going to allow us to push both pieces through at the same time. I'll show you. Now another thing that I like to use double-sided tape for at the table saw is, let's say that this piece of plywood is what I need, but I need it to be cut square, you know, like normal. But I know that one side is out of square. What you can put is a straight edge here, double-sided tape this securely to this edge. If you square this edge up with this edge and fasten these together, you will be able to run this edge through the table saw, therefore making this edge parallel to that, and if your saw is all dialed in, this will become a straight cut and you can go from there. The other method would be actually to be able to make an angled cut on here, which you could also then turn this way to specifically cut an angle, and you can do it the other way as well. You could use this as, say, a sled, and when you put your marks where you want them, you can double-sided tape this to it, and when you run that through the blade, it cuts an angle. That works really well when you don't want to make a jig. You don't cut angles normally, but you need to for this one specific job. That works out really, really well. As you can see, we've used quite a bit of tape just for this video. But this stuff comes in handy a lot. Another thing that I like to use it for is for cutting multiple stacks at the bandsaw. So if I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to cut at the same time in the same shape, I will stack them all together using a piece of double-sided tape, run them through the bandsaw, and then you can take them easily all apart. And probably the last thing that I really use this for a lot is for jigs. You guys know, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, that I like to experiment and make new jigs and new templates and kind of change things up a little bit. And to do that, a lot of times I will make experimental versions of it first before I get one dialed in that I really like, that I would like to share with you guys. And to do a lot of that, I will use double-sided tape to fasten parts together and hold them temporarily to give it a try and see if it works or not before I start adding hardware and making a final version. I think that about wraps it up. Let me know if you guys have other uses that you guys use double-sided tape for quite a bit in your shops, and we'll see what we can come up with. It's nice to share in the comments. Worked really well in the blue tape video. We got a ton of cool ideas and suggestions from people that watched that video. So let us know what you think. As always, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.